This video is brought to you in part by Zeal Sound and viewers like you. Thank you.
Yo, Speedy, clip this one.
This young man is somebody who I've done great business with in battle rap, and I think a lot of people revere and respect. I'm pretty sure you've heard about this Chef Trez situation that happened at Netflix. And I want to ask you, from your perspective, exactly what happened.
I mean, for the most part, what Chef Trez said, you know, I could see it from his vantage point. But where I do think that he fell short in explaining the story is he left out a big part of the story. One, you know, in terms of him putting his man on a list, we had like an open chat. So he probably dumped his list in the chat. I'm not looking at his list to even know who he's sending. It was like an open chat with us and the organizers of the event. In terms of like, I don't even know the guy. The guy that's his friend, I've met him before on the phone, but I've never met him in person. So I don't know what he looks like. I don't know him. I'm not even thinking about him. You know, that shit was Ass Twerk and Capo. That shit was J2. That shit was like Summer Madness in there. That shit was packed out. So, you know, there's a lot of moving parts. There's people in the building. There's industry folk. Like, I'm in there focused on trying to get the best outcome. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't brought to my attention until later in the night when we were about to go on stage, the guys backstage. So what I did was I saw Chef Trez. I pulled him. This is the part that he's leaving out. Like, I pulled him to the side privately. He starts to walk away from me. So I put my hands up like just to stop him, like where like in the bends of your elbow. It was nothing, you know, it wasn't aggressive. It wasn't an aggressive conversation. It was like a brother conversation, like, yo, Chef, chill.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to keep it low. His body language, nah, I'm good. So what he does is he starts talking over me to Ease, because they asked that we have another person there just in case anybody for any reason got sick or didn't make it. So he's like, yo, Ease, you got your rhymes? And then Ease is like, yeah. He's like, yo, you up? And I'm like, yo, Chef, chill. It's not that. Your man can. So I said, your man can go on stage. It's cool. Like, I told him that. So then Smack saw what was going on. So he came over. He's like, yo, Chef, what's up? Talk to me, man. He's like, yo, Chef, that shit ain't about nothing. Your man is good. He can go on stage. Now, mind you, his man wasn't even around. He was aloof to what was happening. He was all the way down the hallway. So it was only me, Chef, and Smack standing in that section of the area having a conversation. The only way that other people knew is when he raised his voice to tell Ease that he wasn't doing it and started to remove the microphone and take off his credentials. So Smack was like, yo, Chef, let me talk to you. And then Chef just turned around and Smack said, yo, you going to walk off on me in mid-sentence? You're not going to talk to me? And Chef walked out the door and let the door slam. He didn't even wait for his man. He walked out by himself. His man stayed in the building. He didn't even know what happened and said, yo, fellas, do you want me to run outside and get him and bring him back in? And I said, nah, it's cool, because Ease was already there and we had to go on stage. It's like, we don't have time for him to go out, have a conversation, to talk to him, to try to convince him to go back. And then that night, he goes on the internet and goes out. It was something to like, I would never betray a friend for opportunity. But what he's not saying is, I never even got the words out to say, either your friend goes or you don't rap. Right? And I don't know if it's his manager or his friend. I didn't even know that managers are mandatory to be on stage when someone's rapping. You know what I'm saying? I come from the music business. The manager stands on the side and watches the artist perform and handles the business. I didn't even know that had to be a thing. You know what I'm saying? But he was never put in a position where he said, yo, you can't rap if your man goes on stage. We didn't even get that far. He opted to leave. That shit is disgusting to me. Like, we all men, right? And we know each other. We're cool with each other. URL never spoke on the incident. After it happened, we didn't say a word about it. We acted like it never happened. He put it in the public with the tweet. Oh, betray a friend. So we still didn't say anything about it, right? He hit me up a couple of days later on a text. He said, yo, I know you gave me in advance. Whatever we have to do to work it out. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up seeing him at Tay-Rock's event, and I spoke to him, and I said, yo, we'll speak. It just wasn't the place to have that type of conversation with people around. So that's why we didn't speak. Could I have called him a couple of days later? Yeah, I could have. And he could have called me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, being that he had a deposit and all, but he didn't call me and I didn't call him. So it just wasn't the time for us to talk. So I'll take accountability and say, yeah, I could have called him, that Monday after Rock's event. But he didn't call me. I didn't call him. I'm busy working. I'm sure he has things going on that he's working, and he battles a lot. He battles pretty frequently. Nobody got threatened. Nobody got touched. It was, you know what I mean? It was just, I just felt like those were certain details that people needed to understand.
Speaking of every part of the story still ain't out yet. Like, trying to listen to this, and it's clearly, for one, the risk, the list should have been read, because if anybody knows who Chris Petty is, he's more, he represents more than just one community. You know what I'm saying? So if Chef Trez is about to go battle J2, there will be a reason why it will be almost mandatory for Chris Petty to be up there. Anwar had bars in, Twerk battle. Tone Bro had bars in Snake Eyes battle. This is battle rap. Let's not act stupid. Secondly, if Chef, why didn't Beasley acknowledge Trez having to, take stuff out, not being allowed to rap about certain stuff and whatnot? I'm saying, now obviously that's what comes with Netflix. Obviously they trying to do certain stuff, but you know what this is. Like I'm saying. So there's a lot of miscommunication. If communication is everything, then communication has to be everything. If there's miscommunication, then how are you supposed to be able to handle any type of situation? If you're purposely not talking to certain people, if your mind is elsewhere, everybody's head is not in the game, and everybody is not moving in the same frequency, it's just a recipe for disaster. And that's why things happen. And you being the world's most respected, you're supposed to be acting like that. You're supposed to move like that. But when bad things happen, you're going to have to take accountability strictly because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. It's simple. I don't understand what's so hard about this. Like, you never want to be in the wrong. Why? Why does nobody ever want to be in the wrong? Why does nobody ever want to take accountability? Why do people want to pretend like things don't happen? If we all men supposed to be logical beings. Just be logical, be transparent. Like, this is bad rap. Is it bad rap? Are we men? Is it streets? Is it gangsters? Like, people just want to have an excuse not to do something. A reason not to take accountability. A reason not. Because things exist, people want a reason to pretend like it don't. That's weird. There's a bunch of grown ass men. All right. There's certain people leaving out details, but you're not addressing something. How is that not the same thing? You want to criticize Chef Trez for telling his story, but then you don't even want to. Oh my God. Why can't people just be real? That's all niggas is asking for. Everybody want to be this type of nigga, that type of nigga. Can we just be real? That's all niggas is asking for. Whatever really happened, why not just say that? You're going to get clowned regardless. Like, you got to understand the temperature. You got to understand, like, for one, you on the internet. You the URL, you're a brand. You supposed to take all that dumb shit out of it and, okay, controversy sells. Why not do a bunch of interviews? My God, bro. Like, no matter how many suggestions are made, no matter how many answers are right there, no matter how clear a formula is, no matter how well you understand politics and business and how things are done, these niggas gonna pretend like they don't know. And that's so annoying, because it's like, if it's anybody else in that situation, they're going to run with it. I'm talking about anybody, because people do this on such a small scale, but they're booking your talent. So imagine if they had your league. If URL was a small league right now, they wouldn't make it out the dirt. No, they wouldn't. URL is only at the top because they're the first ones. Number one is the first. That's it. Usually the first one. That's it. Who came before Smack? Yeah, you had certain people around at the same time that were debatably better. That were able to compete with Smack. Smack always had some type of competition. I don't get this stuff though, man. I do get it, and that's why I don't understand the bullshit. But it is what it is, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. I got 22 minutes left in this. Or is that 12 minutes? I think that's 12 minutes. That's 16 minutes. Alright, we got 16 minutes left. Hopefully that's only but 3-4 more episodes. I'm finna end that right there though. We can come back and finish that up maybe tomorrow or something. Appreciate everybody that tapped in for these few episodes. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about all this stuff, man. Appreciate everybody tapping in. I'm gonna catch you on the flip. Speedy out.